Again. Step, kick, kick, leap, kick, touch. 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 Right. That connects with turn, turn, out, in, back, step, step, kick, kick, leap, kick, touch. Got it? Going on and turn, turn, touch, drag, back, step, pivot, step, walk, walk, walk. Right. Let's do the whole combination. Okay, everyone, from the top. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Welcome to the 2025 Marvin Hamlisch International Music Awards.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Marvin Hamlisch International Music Awards. I'm Peter Gistelink. I'm the Executive Director of the Avon Theater, the Deborah and Chuck Cinema Arts Center. We're so happy that you're here. Tonight, we celebrate the extraordinary legacy of Marvin Hamlisch by honoring the next generation of talented composers from around the world. Young and emerging artists whose creativity and dedication to their craft keep the spirit of music alive and thriving. We would like to extend our deepest gratitude to our generous sponsors, Concord Theatricals, more specifically Bill Gaden, Caroline's Cakes, Richard Reuter, yes, Caroline's Cakes. Marvin really loved Caroline's Cakes. And the Avon Theater. Special thank you to Dory Burns. Please give him a warm hand. A special thank you to Dory Berenstein for graciously licensing the powerful documentary you're going to see tonight, Marvin Hamlisch, What He Did for Love. And to Terre Hamlisch, we are so honored to have you with us tonight. Thank you for sharing your time and insights and for joining us for the Q&A following the screening to reflect on Marvin's extraordinary life, career, and enduring impact. Finally, to all of our nominees being here tonight, congratulations. This year, the Marvin Hamlisch International Music Awards had over 400 applications from over 45 countries. 34 nominees were selected, and tonight we will announce the winners. A lot of them are here in the room with us tonight. Your music inspires us, your dedication uplifts us, your talent ensures that the legacy of Marvin Hamlisch continues to shine brightly into the future. And now, please join me in welcoming to the stage Betsy Walters, who is the founding member of the Board of Directors of the Marvin Hamlisch International Music Awards, and she will be the MC for tonight's award ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peter. I am thrilled to be here and to help honor this year's extraordinary group of Marvin Hamlisch Award nominees and winners. We have composers with us tonight from around the world, from Italy, Turkey, South Korea, and Hungary, to name but a few. We are so thrilled to celebrate you and to do so in the name of the great Marvin Hamlisch. Over 10 years ago, we created a film scoring contest to support emerging composers, not the well-known Oscar-winning composers, but to help find and champion the next Marvin Hamlisch. That mission has grown, and tonight we honor youth and emerging composers in several musical genres. A quick story. Early on, we honored a young composer who was a teenager and maybe a little too young to know Marvin's work. So he looked him up. And when he came to the stage to accept his award, he was so excited, and he spent most of his speech essentially being like, guys, this guy Marvin Hamlisch was amazing. Like, did you know this? Like, he did all this great, do you know this? Which was pretty funny because we did, in fact, know that. But if you don't, you certainly will tonight after watching this remarkable documentary. But it's also a wonderful reminder of how Marvin continues to inspire a new generation of composers who in turn inspire us. I echo Peter in thanking all of those who made this evening possible, including the wonderful judges who lent their time and expertise to helping us select this evening's nominees and award recipients. Our thanks also to the filmmaking team at Mighty Coconut, who created the short film The Ocean Maker, which some of our composers scored as part of this year's contest. You'll see a bit of it tonight, and I encourage you to watch the full film online because it is extraordinary. We also want to thank the Office of Senator Richard Blumenthal. He is a dear friend of the Avon. He couldn't be with us here tonight to celebrate, but he did send hand-signed citations for all of our winners and nominees with us this evening, which was extremely generous, and we really appreciate it. So nominees and winners, please do not leave without getting yours. And now, to present this year's Marvin Hamlisch International Music Awards, I am thrilled to introduce Mrs. Marvin Hamlisch.
Good evening. My name is Terre Blair Hamlisch, and I was married to that guy. So, Marvin Hamlisch said that music was an international language that transcended cultures, race, boundaries, and differences. That sentiment is displayed here tonight, represented by the dozens of exceedingly talented composers from all over our world. Given the challenges and chaos of world events, you will hear tonight, in every creative note, hope. Congratulations to all the nominees. Marvin would be so deeply touched, as am I, not only for your great contribution to the field of music, but also your efforts to get here in person. I have to add something personally. I've heard your music. It's extraordinary. Every year, things just seem like they can't get better and better. But you will see, audience, tonight, when you hear their music, the caliber of this music is jaw-dropping, it's mind-blogging, it's extraordinary. So please give a round of applause to all our nominees. And now for the presentation of this year's Marvin Hamlisch International Awards. Our first category, Film and Media Scoring in the Youth Division, the nominees are from Nyack, New York, the United States, Benjamin Barish. From Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Kevin Fan. From New York, the United States, Matthew Lee. From Atlanta, Georgia, the United States, James Mihalka. From
Yerevan, Armenia, Zepeyur Nuzarians.
And the winner is, from New York City, Matthew Lee.
Hello everyone, and thank you so much for this incredible honor. I want to begin by thanking my very first composition teacher, Daso Kim, who introduced me to the magic of making music in GarageBand since I was in middle school. I also want to thank James Raw, whose steady supportive presence has helped me grow into composer with my own voice, and I'll always be grateful for that. To my family, thank you for embracing this journey with open arms and complete faith. From helping me buy my first keyboard to listening to my compositions since I was a kid, my family is the reason that I am the musician I am today. And lastly, thank you to the board for this award and this amazing opportunity. I'll carry it with pride and I'll use it to continue my journey as a composer. Thank you.
Our second youth category is in classical composition. Here are the nominees.
From Nyack, New York, the United States, Benjamin Barish. From Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, Brianna Day. From London, the United Kingdom, Rania Farouzi. From Burnham, the United Kingdom, Aiden Rose. From Chapel Hill, North Carolina, the United States, Andrew Shue.
And the winner is, from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, Brianna Day.
Good evening. I am so honored to receive the award for Classical Composition Youth Division. Music to me is a universal language that transcends boundaries and touches the heart. My mission has always been to create melodies that transport you, stimulate your wildest imagination, and stay with you long after the final notes. Thank you to the Marvin Hamlisch Awards for the opportunity to showcase creations from around the world. Thank you to my incredible mentors whose wisdom and support continue to inspire me. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for listening to my music.
In the Emerging Composers Division, in the category of Contemporary Pop Songwriting, the nominees are
From Garrison, New York, the United States, Rebecca Cross. From Seoul, South Korea, Yat-Jun Kim.
Ready, set, go! Go to the ocean, into the ocean. Deep, 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 come a little deeper.
From Budapest, Hungary, Abel Libisch and Annette Horvath.
I chose another way, I treat it differently. Always be reason can be amplified by the crowd. They say it's never late to start again.
From Los Angeles, California, the United States, Oliviana Marie.
It's true, yes I knew it was you all along. When I'm down on the ground, oh your love makes me strong enough to stand. Take my hand, and there's nothing we can't do.
And the winner is, from Budapest, Hungary, Abel Lipstich and Annette Horvath.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Mr. Marvin Hamlisch for the incredible legacy he left us. Thank you. I'd also like to thank the board for the recognition. Thank you very much.
Well, I didn't expect it to this. I'm not good with words, but this is a good day. Thank you very much.
All the way from Budapest, Hungary to Stamford, Connecticut. In the category of classical composition in the emerging division, the nominees are
From Taiyuan City, Taiwan, Yi Fan Chen. From Bayonne, New Jersey, the United States, Ahmed Karam. From Los Angeles, California, the United States, Oliviana Marie. Geneva, Switzerland, Jonathan Mavii. From Seoul, South Korea, Young Woo Yu.
And the winner is, from Seoul, Korea, Young Woo Yu.
Such a great honor to receive this award. And also I'm very happy to be back in the United States after 9 years. And I thought I wouldn't be able to attend this ceremony because my dad has been ill, but my parents encouraging me and saying that just take opportunity and then they will be fine. So I decided to come here. I really want to sincerely thank to everyone who chose me for this award, and of course my family, and it's my best friend Janet who came here with me, and also my professors who taught me how to compose music. Thank you so much.
Now in the category of jazz composition in the emerging division, the nominees are
from Jersey City, New Jersey, the United States, Jared Decker. Brooklyn, New York, the United States, Joey Kendrick. From Los Angeles, California, the United States, Xin Lee. From Shanghai, China, Xing Tiao Pan. From Kiev, Ukraine, Archer Verbin.
And the winner is, from Shanghai, China, Chen Hao Pan.
Hello everyone, my name is Chen Hao Pan. I'm a composer from Shanghai, China, and I'm currently studying jazz composition at Eastman School of Music. It's my great honor to accept this award as a jazz musician and composer. So thank you so much for your support, and I hope you like my music.
Next, we honor the remarkable composers in our musical theater composition category, and the nominees are...
From Astoria, New York, the United States, Josh Cleveland.
And would just bury the pen, but I can't not create, so I'll agitate onto water and brick, the lens to verge around the blick, just common sense. These paragraphs and pictures, different layers of strictures, and crescendos of feeling, the ascendance of healing.
From Brooklyn, New York, the United States, John Coyne.
Safe from your heartbeat, safe from desire, safe from the truth that you're worse than a liar. You're so safe, you're safe. I have some thoughts for you, but clearly you don't need them. You're safe.
From New York, New York, the United States, Veronica Leahy and Andrew Von Camp.
Come to me, everything there in my melody. Come to me, my love, come to me.
From New York, New York, the United States, Asher Muldoon.
You want a world without one issue? Well, son, I think it's time you wisen up. The times in which we're living aren't simple or forgiving, not anywhere, not anymore.
From Canberra, Australia, Alexander Unikovsky.
Cause when someone else decided that our nation lives divided, we say, oh, we're more than just borderlines, and we pay the idea and break our bridge, word to word.
And the winners are, ladies and gentlemen, for this category, we have a tie. From Brooklyn, New York, John Coyne, and from Australia, Alexander Unikovsky.
Someone else decided that our city lives divided, we say, oh, we're more than just borderline.
Hello from Australia. Thank you so much for this incredible honour of being recognised. I want to say a huge thank you to everyone involved with organising the Marvin Hamlisch International Music Awards and for putting together a process and a competition full of care and thought and love. And for putting together what sounds like an amazing day of celebration and collaboration. I am truly devastated that I can't be there to take part with you all, but it sounds like it has been a fantastic day. I want to wish a special congratulations to all of the other shortlisted nominees who I've been lucky enough to share this category with. I went through your bios and it was an exciting and humbling experience to be included in a group with you all. So thank you very much for that honour and that pleasure. I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who has supported me on this journey, in particular my family, my parents and my sister, and of course to my wonderful partner, Abby. And I want to give a shout out to our small but passionate and feisty theatre community here in Canberra, who have been the foundation for me, both as a writer and as a performer for quite some time, and of course all the teachers that have been a part of that journey along the way, both musical and theatre. The only other thing I want to say is the song that I wanted to write for this competition was about artists recognising that they have a voice and the importance and the impact of that voice in a world that sorely needs it. That song was set in the 80s, but with every year it feels increasingly more relevant to today. So I want to say thank you to you all for being a part of raising your voices I hope that we can continue to find opportunities like this, platforms like this, to raise our voices, to be heard, and to make a positive impact in the world. Thank you.
Well, I dare say I don't have anything as articulate to say as our Australian friend, but I was hearing his song and I went, oh, he's anyway, this is a real honor, and I would love to thank the board for this really extreme honor. I'd love to thank Melody Muniz, who recorded the song and brought it to life in a really kind of terrifying and beautiful way. I'd love to thank my fiancée, Liv Matlin, for whose excitement and encouragement gives me the ability to keep on going each day in this unforgiving form we call the musical. And I would love to thank as well, not thank, but I'd love to acknowledge the other nominees, a couple of whom I've had the absolute pleasure of getting to know today. I was planning on hanging this on my wall, but you can't hang it. But what I was going to say was that I was going to hang this on my wall in eyesight of where I work, so that I could live into the absolute example of a composer and a human being that I've learned throughout the day through the stories of various people. That was Marvin Hamlisch. Everything I hear about him just makes me love his work deeper, deeper, and deeper. So thank you all so much. Appreciate it.
Alexander was planning on coming, but had a bit of emergency surgery. He's fine, but the doctor told him he couldn't fly. But he was on his way here from Australia, so he sent that. So the final category tonight is film and media scoring in the emerging division. I have some special presenters. Family was important to Marvin, and tonight we're lucky enough to have in our audience Marvin's niece, Jordan, and Marvin's sister-in-law that he called his sister, Charlotte.
Terry asked me to say a few words about Marvin before we present the last award of the evening. If you were fortunate enough to know him, you knew that his joy and his generosity knew no bounds. And one of the things he felt most strongly about was supporting people who were up and coming in the industry. He reached out over and over again to lift a hand and give support. After knowing him for as long as we did, and as blessed as we were to have him in our lives, I feel comfortable saying nothing would make him happier than seeing all of you here tonight being acknowledged for sharing your gifts and your talents with the world. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. We appreciate your talent, and please keep going. The last category this evening is for the film and media group for the emerging division.
And the nominees are
from Nashville, Tennessee, the United States, Emily Chang. From Istanbul, Turkey, Yiğit Deriga. From Bovessa, Cuneo, Italy, Federico Piccolo. from Mount Airy, Maryland, the United States, Paul White. From Shanghai, China, Han Yu.
From Istanbul, Turkey, Yi Dariga.
I'm so excited, I'm sorry. And it's such a huge honor for me. And thanks for everything. And thanks for the Marvin Hamlisch family and dear Terre, Blair Hamlisch and dear Betsy Walters for everything. Thanks so much. And Lisa and Nick, thanks so much coming with me. And I'm so happy we're here. And thank you.
From Istanbul, Turkey to Stamford, Connecticut. You know, we're just the hot place. Everybody wants to come here. So just briefly, and I know I'm gonna miss somebody, but we couldn't do this without so many people. And I need to thank Joe DeVico and his wife, Judy, if you can applaud for them, because they do everything. And Peter and Betsy, wow, you've done everything. The Avon Theater and Artie and your staff, Ashley, and my doctor, Josh Herbert and his wife Liz, wherever you are, wave. Without you, I wouldn't be up here. So here's what I'm gonna do. Because there's so many people here from Italy, Switzerland, UK, South Korea, Hungary. I would like to welcome all of the Marvin Hamlisch International Music Awards nominees and winners to come to the stage, and I'd like the audience to stand and applaud for these amazing composers. Congratulations. So while they're having their photo op, there's this pianist in our audience. Oh, okay. We don't want you hidden. Come. There we go. So while they're getting their photo op, there's a pianist in the audience that's quite something, actually. Marvin and his name is Kevin Cole performed all over the world in concert halls together. Kevin is known as the foremost pianist in our world for George Gershwin. He's extraordinary, and tonight I have to laugh because he recorded Rhapsody in Paris with the orchestra, and he has these big Bosendorfer pianos he plays on. But he comes to Stamford, Connecticut, the Avon, and we give him a keyboard, like your kids would play on, right? So ladies and gentlemen, welcome pianist, I love you, Kevin Cole. Oh, do you want me to tell?
Tell them the 3 songs in the Marvin medley.
Oh, I think they'll recognize it. You go for it.
Well, I was gonna.
Nicole for that beautiful performance. And thank you again, once again, to all of our wonderful composers. Now, before we move on to our feature film, we have one last surprise for you. We are very pleased to show you some exclusive insights, the premiere of Marvin Hamlisch's final work, a stage adaptation of The Nutty Professor. Here to speak about it is Marvin's musical director for the project, Marvin's dear friend and Hamlisch Awards board member, Todd Ellison.
Good evening. Congratulations to everybody. Really a fantastic evening, and there was so much talent in this room right now. It's breathtaking. I had the privilege of being Marvin's music director on a couple of projects, including this last work, The Nutty Professor. I was conducting Spamalot on Broadway, and I got a phone call from my orchestra contractor, who was also Marvin's contractor, Michael Keller. And he said, I need you to go to 42nd Street Studios now. Marvin is in rehearsal with The Nutty Professor, directed by Jerry Lewis, and I need you to go hold his hand. And I thought, okay. So I went, I walked in the door. They had already been rehearsing for 5 days. Marvin was at the piano doing everything, teaching everything. There was no music director. And I sat down at the piano next to him. I said, hey, Michael Keller sent me on Todd. He kind of grunted at me. I thought, okay, here we go. And I looked at the music and I thought, okay, what is this? Oh, there's a lyric and there's a melody. And in the piano part, oh look, there's a chord symbol. And meanwhile, Marvin's playing up a storm, but nothing is written down anywhere. And literally 2 minutes later, he goes, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, you teach him the song. And I thought, I have just got off the elevator. What are you talking about? So I put my musical director cap on, and I said, all right, people, here we go. Let's learn this. And we went to work, and 5 minutes later, he came back over. He had never left the room. It was all a test, it turned out. And he hits me on the shoulder, and he said, where have you been all my life? You're me 40 years ago. This is great. So we started a partnership and a friendship working on The Nutty Professor. Then we went to another project, and then we came back to The Nutty, and we went back to the other project, and we had a great time working on Nutty. Rupert Holmes wrote the lyrics and the book to the musical. Rupert is world famous for If You Like Pina Coladas. That was his song. And it's played everywhere, in stores, wherever you go shopping, you will hear that song, it turns out. Terry and I were shopping one day, and I'm like, do you hear that on the radio? He's following us. Rupert was singing along. Rupert and Marvin were great together. They wrote a magical score for this show. We did a production in Nashville, a pre-Broadway tryout. It was during that run that Marvin passed away. Not long after that, we lost Jerry Lewis. And the show kind of wobbled its way along until Terry and Rupert and the Jerry Lewis family got together and figured it out, and we got a production up in Maine in 2022, followed by a production in Utah, where the wonderful Dietline family put together a show at all expenses, no expense spared. I think over $1 million was spent on the costumes and the sets. And you will see clips of that in our little video here coming up. So you can imagine what the show is just by seeing that. The story of Nutty Professor is a Jekyll and Hyde story, and it's got a lot of warmth about it. It's very funny, and somebody, I don't know if it was you, Terry, or it was Peter, somebody thought, we need to do a big album of the music and really showcase the score. Let's go find a 60-piece orchestra. So we did. We went to Prague and we recorded the entire show with a 60-piece orchestra, which Marvin would have loved. It was an incredible time. Joe and Judy came along to hold Peter and my hand as we did this project, and it was really something. We got back and we put together a stellar Broadway cast. You're going to see in this video some of the characters that were involved. We have our ensemble from Agunquit came down. Those kids who were doing summer stock in 2022 are now on Broadway. One is in the Jonathan Groff show, Just in Time. Another one's in Cabaret. Another girl came in from The Road. She's in A Beautiful Noise on The Road. We have, you'll see in the video, Rupert. He was in the recording studio with us. You will see our friend Daniel Capoletti. He is from Brussels. He took Larry Hochman's original orchestration for 15 and injected steroids into the whole thing. He blew it up to this lush symphonic sound. It's really beautiful. You will see also in that video the wonderful cast. We have Marissa McGowan, who's on our board of trustees. She was our original Stella in Nashville. She worked with Marvin. Marvin coached her on how he wanted the songs to sound, how he wanted her to sing it, and she delivered. And it is captured forever. We will always have her and that rendition of the song, this big hit song that you'll hear a little bit at the end of the video tonight. Then there's Clea Blackhurst, who's been in the show from the very beginning. She was Jerry Lewis's choice to play Miss Lemon. That's the Kathleen Freeman part. And Clea is Kathleen Freeman and Eve Arden and Ethel Merman all rolled into one. Then we have Richard Kind playing Dr. Warfield. You will recognize him if you don't know the name. And rounding out the cast, we have Tony Award winner, Broadway star from Some Like It Hot, Christian Borle, playing the Jerry Lewis part. Christian, in this video, is singing probably the most beautiful melody I've heard in the last 30 years. It's a gorgeous song. What is amazing to me when you hear this is what has been missing from Broadway for years: melody. That Marvin had in spades, coupled with Rupert's incredible lyrics. This song you'll hear is just a snippet of it, but it is a perfect pairing of lyric, character-driven, and music. Character-driven song here. He is the shy, nebbishy, nutty professor in love with this girl, has a crush on this girl, and he doesn't know how to express it. So he uses the only vocabulary that he has, and that is scientific words. And Rupert fashioned a wonderful song about how this guy feels about her, and Christian really delivers on that. So you're going to hear snippets of, no one else has heard this yet. This is a world premiere for sure. This is a show that has it all. It has music, lyrics, melody, it has laughs, and it has heart. Everything that makes a great American musical. Please enjoy our snippet of our Nutty Professor cast album. Thank you.
New stimulation. Through to graduation, there's a party in town.
Stella, your name reminds me of stalactites, with their fluorescence lit by black lights within the caverns of the Black Hills. I seem to be generally ignored or on some occasions attacked.
Can you be helped?
I'm just looking.
No one else is.
You don't stand a chance.
College is supposed to change a person. Maybe you could use a change yourself, Professor.
I must pursue a more radical course that will shock and unlock what is trapped in my heart. What if I'm now spitting myself? Hey, is it me or is it hot in here?
What happened to the man who seemed kind-hearted?
This is who I am. I'm never going to change for anyone.
And while I still have the time, each blessed hill I'll climb. And I will learn it all, and be it all, and see it all. And love will not, and like is not, I'll lose it all. And laugh until I've had my fill, while I still have the
Thank you so much, everyone. Please stay after the movie for Q&A with Terre and Blair Hamlisch, and now enjoy the show. Hi, everyone. Thank you again for staying. I'm really thrilled to have this Q&A with the wonderful Terre Blair Hamlisch to tell us a little bit more about Marvin and the movie. And I have several questions, and I also certainly want to open it up to any questions you may have as well. I just did want to note that as I was watching that, I think it's kind of fitting that it felt like the longest part of the credits was the musicians. Like that's kind of, I think, a testament to
Our nominees must love that. The musicians got credit.
Yes. And it's a beautiful, I think, testament to Marvin, his life, his music. And thank you for sharing him with us, I guess.
Thank you for marrying him, right?
Yes. I mean, it's a beautiful testament, so. I actually wanted to start, there was something in the opening section that really caught me, and I wanted to ask you, I noticed it was saying that Marvin heard music everywhere. There was music in every aspect of what he did, and I was curious if you could speak to that, your experience of that, and what that was like to live with, how you experienced it.
He used to say that he had a gift and a curse. Because what would happen is that the music notes in his head would go very fast, and they would be there all the time. So if you would turn on music, that music would conflict with the music that was in his head. So he would hear music like a taxi in New York City would be screeching, and he would hear, my musician friends would have to tell me what a screeching taxi wheel note is, but he would hear that note, and it would stay in his mind, but then he would hear the traffic as another note, and he would hear something else as another note. But where it became a curse is when that music didn't stop. So the music was in his head all the time. I would be talking and literally underscored by my husband. I'd say, why aren't you listening? And he'd be la 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 la, and I'd be like, pay attention. And he'd be la 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 la, and you can tell I can't sing. So it was a gift and a curse.
So he was like scoring an argument or something?
Yes, exactly. You heard that too.
That's it. You know, you've told this wonderful story to me before, and I would love for you to share it again, of the experience of going to the movies with Marvin or going to a play with Marvin. I'd love if you would mind sharing.
Yeah, going to the movies with Marvin sucked. It was horrible. It was like one of the worst dates ever. So this is what it was like. We'd go to the movies and I'd be really excited to see this movie. And I'd get to the movies and he'd be sitting beside me and he would go, oh, it's a minor note. We know they're going to be dead or raped or murdered. And the composer led with that note, and now we know, and I think nobody else in the theater knew, but it was like, and he would spoil the movie, and he goes, oh, look, it's a major note, they're going to fall in love. But he hated it when the composer led with that particular note that allowed us to know, or allowed him to know, it allowed us to know what was going to happen before it happened. So it was miserable to go to the movies. I go, I'm going with my friends. I'm leaving you at home. It was really, I mean, he ruined the whole movie. Oh, look, they're going to die. And oh, look, he's going to be raped. And oh, look, and it was just awful. It was terrible. Then I took screenwriting at NYU, and I was as bad as he was. Got a laugh out of Ashley, right?
Yeah, you both that'd be a problem with those movies for sure. I'm just curious too, if you could speak a little bit about the movie, the experience of the movie coming together and what it was like to.
Well, the movie came together, as you could tell when I started to cry. It came together right after he died. Dory wanted to do it, and maybe it was a bit soon, but it actually captured, I think, the people and the love for him and the respect they had for him in the industry, and what a kind person he was, and how generous he was. I think it did capture that. It was powerful for me sitting there, and I haven't seen it for a while.
Yeah, it is. It's incredibly powerful thing to see. I'd love to know, if we have any questions in the audience, by the way.
We've got one right here. Bill Leach, front row.
Terry, could you tell the story about being kidnapped on the way to see the Dalai Lama?
You know, why, Bill, did I know you were going to ask that question?
So
it's like Bill follows me. He's like the heckler for the story. Like the symphony I told the story. Okay, here we go. Do you want to hear the story, the audience? Yeah. Okay, so you saw that when we got married, I gave him Yankee Fantasy Camp. Because the poor guy, when he was little, they called him Fingers, and they made fun of him, and they wouldn't let him play stickball with the other boys, and he was left out, and I thought, oh, no. You're marrying a girl from Ohio, you need to go play baseball, you need to live. And his agent was so angry at me. How could you take this composer with his fingers and put him on a baseball field with Ron Guidry throwing 90-mile-an-hour balls next to his head, right? And Marvin would go, I don't really see the ball, but I hear it. It'd be flying by his head. So he said to me, what do you want as your honeymoon present, your wedding present or whatever? He said, I'm going to take you to meet the Dalai Lama. Because I was studying philosophy and comparative religion at the time and always had my head in a book, like Belle and Beauty and the Beast. And he said to me, we're going to go to India where I'll introduce you to the Dalai Lama. At the time, Abe Rosenthal was the editor of the New York Times and he made this all happen. So what happened was we climb up this hill in the Himalayas, and I'm excited. I mean, it's the Dalai Lama, he's won the Nobel Peace Prize, he's a man of peace, he's interesting, it's all, this is the greatest gift anyone could give me. Marvin walks up this hill, looks at the Dalai Lama, and says, I climbed up this mountain for you to sing Hello, Dolly. I'm like dying. I'm like, how can you sing Hello, Dolly to the Dalai Lama? It gets worse. He looks at the guy and he goes, if you get tired of this gig free to bed, he goes, I could put you on stage, Dolly and the Lamas. And I'm thinking, you're kidding me. And the Dalai Lama looks down at Marvin and he goes, this is the definition of joy. And I go, no, this is the definition of my husband that is absolutely ruining this trip for me. So you can see the difference. New York Yankees, Dalai Lama. So I think what Betsy wants me to tell, or what Bill wants me to tell, we're blaming you, Bill, for everything. If they hate the story, all yours. Okay, here we go. So when we're leaving this visit to the Dalai Lama that was my wedding present, we're going down this hill and the war breaks out between Pakistan and India, and it's really bad. And there's kids with rifles that are 15 years old,
And they drag us out of the car. And they put, I think I have to do this. Do you want me to do the whole thing, Bill? Okay, whole thing, here we go. So they drag us out of our vehicle, and there's Marvin and there's me. They throw our luggage out, and they put us like this to the car. So we can't see each other, our faces are pressed to the car, and gun nozzles are at our head, right? And so I'm thinking, I don't know where I got this, it's probably some Buddhist thing, it's probably not even true, but I believed at the time, and it said, your last thought before you die is really important. So I'm thinking I'm gonna die, and I'm thinking, world peace, world peace. Marvin goes, hey, honey, honey. And I'm going, what? He goes, I don't think they know I wrote a chorus line here. And I think I'm gonna get my brains blown out on that line. I go, wait a minute, that's it? I'm gonna die on that one? I should have known when I married him. Bill, happy?
Yeah. Such a great story.
Kate.
Did Marvin have any other siblings? Was he an only child?
No, he did. He had a sister. It was a sister that was taking piano lessons at the time. She died of breast cancer, but she was a Hollywood agent, casting agent for movies. And she did very big movies. But they were very close. No, he wasn't the only child. His parents always said when you went to get a cookie, you have to get two, one for your sister. And it probably taught him generosity and sharing things, don't you think, guys? She was very talented, but she was the one taking piano lessons.
Oh yes, I remember that.
On the piano, and then he got up, and this, little 4-year-old got up and played the song that she was playing in every key.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was sort of where the prodigy thing started.
Terry, did Marvin admire other composers?
Yes, very much. One of his idols was Julie Stein, and he was so just absolutely blown away by the overture of Gypsy. He admired a lot of different composers, a lot of different genres of music, but I remember that he was doing Barbra Streisand's concert for the Millennium, and Julie was in the audience, and I remember he did the overture for Barbara, and Julie came up and said, that's a great overture, and Marvin was in heaven. In heaven. I mean, he loved Broadway shows when he was very little. They weren't very affordable at the time. They still aren't. But he would always save his money and stand in the back, and so all those composers were his idols. He had great respect for great musicians of any genre.
I remember just one, to add on to that, I remember once at the CINE Gala we had Marvin and we were giving him an award and he had Sheldon Harnick present it.
Yes.
Who wrote Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiddler on the Roof.
And it was very clear the reverence they had for each other, but especially that he had for
Yeah, he had great respect. Very humble.
Yes.
I think there's somebody.
Oh, sure. Hi.
Will this movie be available for us to see any other time?
That's a very good question. This movie ended up winning the Emmy, and it's streamed on Apple TV. So you can see it, you can stream it on Apple. Oh, good.
What advice do you think Marvin would have had for all of the nominees here tonight in inspiring composers?
Oh, very good question. Coming from you, that's a brilliant question, actually. He even taught a class at Juilliard, and it was called The Real World, or The Real Life, or something like that, right? And it was about what happens to people that have this gift of composing, how do they make a living? How do they succeed in it? And I think one of the things that I've learned, even after his death, is that you have to keep going. It may not be the path you think. You may think, I'm going to score this film, and you may end up doing something completely different. But he always used to say that people that are super successful are are the ones that are aware when opportunity comes, but they have the talent to meet it. So all of you here tonight are extraordinary. I can tell you that's not a superlative. I don't lie. Your talents in what we saw are incredible. He would call it a triple threat. So the key, he would say, in your lives and in composing is to not give up. It may go this way, it may go that way, you may teach, you may do this, you may compose here, you may change genres. The key is to keep going. He says it there, but I really believe that that's a big factor in it, because there are a lot of people that are successful that don't have your talent. And there are a lot of people that do have a lot of talent and are successful. But the difference is the people, the way they look at life. They don't try to make a path if the path is going like this. He was kamikaze, I'm more like thoughtful, should I do this, should I do that? He was a mid-course corrector. He jumped in, composed whatever it was, loved doing something different, and then if it didn't work out, changed, pivot. So it's the flexibility in your life and the tenacity. I think that's what he would say. You're welcome. You're all so talented. It's our honor tonight to hear you. Yes.
I just want to add to the part of the film where he talks about going to play for that party that he almost refused, but once he found out it was for a very big producer that he would like to meet, he went to play. But the fun part about the rest of the story is that he got to play a little bit of his music at that party, and the producer talked to Marvin and said, well, I'm doing this score for this new film called The Swimmer, and why don't you come to my office? So rather than wait and come to the office and talk, Marvin already wrote some music that he thought would work for a film he only knew the title of. And when he got to the office, the producer, Saul, said to him, have you ever scored a film before? And Marvin said, of course I have. He had never scored a film. He didn't know how to score, he didn't know. But he got the job, and he said, well, why don't you go and write something and bring it back to me? He said, I already did. And he played the beginning of the theme from The Swimmer, got the job, and then according to his autobiography, he said, I went home, I learned how to score a film.
See,
Yeah.
it's recognizing the opportunity.
Yeah.
In other words, when he heard the name Sam Spiegel was giving the party, he was like, oh, I guess Juilliard isn't so grand after all. And he did. His mother, when he was very little, she used to take him to see the Thanksgiving Day parade in New York City. And she used to say, Marvin, sometimes you have to make elbows. And we still say this in our family today. We go, sometimes you have to make elbows. It's really going after it. And having that tenacity not to give up and seeing the opportunity. You all have the talent to meet the opportunity. It's seeing and creating those opportunities in your life and not being stuck that it has to have a certain outcome, but being flexible when you hit that part of the road. And I think you all have extraordinary careers ahead of you. I mean, our past winners are scoring Netflix. They're working for Hans Zimmer.
Composing for symphonies, yeah, absolutely.
Just never give up. If it's your passion in your life, you'll find a way.
Yes. I was wondering, what was his favorite music scores, or what was his opinion on certain composers like John Williams?
Favorite scores, composers?
What was his favorite?
His Marvin's favorite scores and composers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Music, movies.
In movies?
Yeah.
Particular, okay. I was with him when he saw the movie Schindler's List, and weighs a lot. Other composers in movies, John Williams, obviously. Some of the great music that he did. I don't know. There's so many. That's hard to. That's hard. because it could be anything from like On the Waterfront to something, that was current. But I think his love and his passion was theater. But I think that he loved, I know he loved working with Steven Soderbergh a lot. And my favorite, if you're asking just my humble opinion, one of my favorite pieces of music that Marvin ever wrote for a film was Sophie's Choice, the Cello Concerto. That's extraordinarily powerful and using the cello in a way that had an amazing voice. And even if you hear it outside, like Carter Bray playing it, he's the first cellist for the New York Philharmonic. I would say that piece right there, for me, I don't know that he would say this, but for me, I think that's probably my favorite of all his film scores is that.
Thank you so much for that question.
Can I ask, what was his favorite? Did he have a favorite?
Of his own music?
Yes.
The only thing I could say is, he never really said that, but when he died, he left this thing, and you know how, you directive and your will or whatever it is, and he said, I want the following songs to be played. So I have to think that because he left that those songs were some of his favorites. So one of the big ones was, well, in Chorus Line, he loved at the ballet. And originally, when Chorus Line came out, it was a lot of dancers that weren't necessarily able to sing. She's a great ballet dancer. So when he did the revival, and we went out to San Francisco, the younger generation has a triple threat. They can sing, they can act, they can dance, they got it. So the original Chorus Line, they couldn't sing as much. The new kids can sing. So he was able to reorchestrate it. So at the ballet, had the note that Maggie sings that she could hit. He could be unrestrained in that song. And I think at the ballet was very, very important to him. And I also think what I Did for Love is important, from a Chorus Line. And those are songs that I don't know, Ernie's here. Where's Ernie? Ernie, what were the songs that we played?
At the ballet, What I Did for Love, and The Way We Were.
And The Way We Were.
And one of those three, I think those were the three songs.
Ernie was his associate conductor, ladies and gentlemen, at for the National Symphony Orchestra at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. for like 13 years, and he's with us tonight. Yeah, What I Did for, those are the ones I think too.
I think we have one more question over here.
Yeah, that one right here.
Just interested, how did he work at home? Would he get up in the middle of the night?
That's a great question. Yeah, it's a great question. I don't know, somebody in some class I took told me that geniuses work at 4 o'clock, so at 4 a.m. and I realized that's not me. So that's what he did, is that he would wake up, the music, the curse was the music never stopped. So if music was playing for something it gave him a headache, like migraines, right? Because the music was always going. So what he would do is at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, he would get up and he would compose early. And then by the time I started to get awake, he was doing a musical, jumping up and down on the bed of the headlines of the New York Times. But it's like, that was his time, was that early morning time. Except you have to be careful in New York and have very thick walls, or everybody hears your new musical that's coming through. So we always lived in these like pre-war buildings with these big thick walls so the neighbors weren't like banging on them. And then it was really cute because our last neighbors go, we live next to Marvin Hamlisch and we hear it before anybody else. They're leaning in. You're welcome.
I think one last question down here.
Sweet Smell of Success. For sure, Sweet Smell of Success. My personal opinion is it's another Chorus Line. It's just brilliant. It was the wrong timing because of September 11th and everything else that was happening. It wasn't a happy-go-lucky. It's a brilliant, brilliant score. I think, as you say, the serious kind of hefty, that was definitely it. For commercial and, I don't know how to describe it, for commercial it would be Nutty, the Nutty Professor. And that's what you got to see tonight that I've never seen. This was the first time that I saw that clip as well. But I would say that was his last musical. He died. It was in Nashville. It got great reviews. And I think he cared very much about that. But that wasn't, the hefty is Sweet Smell. The more commercial, bring your children, accessibility is Nutty. Did I answer your question?
Yes. Did he feel satisfied?
Oh, did he feel satisfied? That's a great question. I'm not sure that as an artist, I don't know why I'm saying this because I have absolutely no credibility, but I'm not sure as an artist there was ever a complete satisfaction. Do you know what I mean? It's like I think he and Barbra Streisand are very much alike, which is you'll say, wow, you did this, you did that, and they'll go, that was yesterday, we need to know what we're doing tomorrow. They were always looking for the next thing. So I don't know if that's the impetus for art, sometimes an artist, where there isn't a satisfaction, but they're going for the next thing, because he did tell me before he died, he said, you know, he didn't know he was dying, I didn't know it, nobody knew, but he said, you know, looking back on it, he goes, I have a lot more music to write, so I'm not sure that he was ever, but in answer to your question, with the piece, Sweet Smell of Success, he was very satisfied. Very. I think the frustration was the timing. I think that was it.
All right, Adelaide, we have one last question right here, and then we will. Okay, go ahead.
Has Marvin ever dedicated a song to you?
You know, he should, don't you think? Yeah. We could pull him back down here to earth to do that. I think he should. I don't know what birthday it was, but he came up with something where he was making it about my smile because he could read these, he could like write these songs like in an instant. And I think he did something. Did he ever dedicate something to me? I don't know. You know, he was so funny that this is the thing that's coming up in my head. He read my American Express bill on stage with the Pittsburgh Symphony. I suppose that was dedicating my American Express bill to the audience. And then I got angry, and he made up some song for me. I don't know, you know. I can't think of a song that he actually did, but I think I did help. I think that when you're happy, though he was worried about that, because he kind of thought unhappy composers made better music at one time, and then he was worried because he was happy. And I was like, okay, this really doesn't make any sense. And I think that the relationship overall, I think he kind of was the soundtrack of our lives as we grew up. And I think probably his love for me is what he dedicated to me that I hold in my heart very dearly.
It is a beautiful and perfect note to end on, no pun intended, but a note to end on. But thank you again, Terry,
Thanks,
for that
Betsy.
wonderful
Did they
meeting.
get their
Thank you to our wonderful
audience.
audience.